David Teems is with us. He's the author of Majesty, the King Behind the King James Bible. He's also the author of Speak to Me, our offer to you this month, both the booklet and the CD. The scripture is read in a beautiful way, set to music. David, when I was reading Majesty, it's not our offer, but when I was reading it, it seems to me that King James, as flawed as he was at that point, King of Scotland, James VI, was a frightfully flawed vessel. And yet it seems that the Lord protected him and prepared him for that moment of translation later on, but even from his mother's womb.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, he was. When his mother was 6 months pregnant with him, it's quite a story. The first chapter of this book starts out that way. And you would almost think it's fiction, but I had to make this up. But Mary, Queen of Scots, is pregnant with James. She's very swollen. And her husband comes in thinking that she's having an affair with someone. So he has one of his men put a gun to her womb and makes her watch the murder of this person that they think she's having an affair with. Well, James survived that. He survived. She was taken away from him when he was 11 months old. He was crowned king at 13 months old. He had a crown on his head, but his keepers didn't see the child beneath it. And so for 13 years, he was abused emotionally. He was basically unloved, but he had that crown on his head, which creates this powerful effect upon your psychology. Here you are, the most powerful person in the kingdom, the most precious person in the kingdom, and yet your basic need is not met. Well, this is the person that God chose to put together this Bible, and it could have only been him. So by the time, years later, that he became the English king, he was quite flawed, quite brilliant too, but he was also a good judge of talent. He put the group together that created the King James Bible. But what it does for me, it encourages me in that this incredible gift to us, even 400 years later, it's still a powerful gift, was given to us by a man who we might think, if we had dinner with him, we might think him crude. His language at times could go off the board being crude, and yet he could quote whole chapters of the Bible in whatever language you want him to quote it in. And so it's an incredible story. But yeah, he was even born with metaphorically, to me, it's born with a mask, but the amniotic sac was still remaining. So it was a shield of protection, but God protected him. And as I compare my life with James, or anyone's life that I know about, that God works in their life, I can see similar things. That God used this person to do this thing here, but those steps to do it, the steps of a righteous man are ordered by God. And it's still, as long as I've been in this still blows me away. This still has a powerful enchantment for me. Because it almost looks like these pleasant little accidents. And God, again, is not obligated to explain.
The sovereignty of God trumps our dogmas every time. David Teems, thank you. Speak to me.